So right now we're going to talk about the energy themes for January 2024. Some of them are kind of similar or like a continuation of the themes that we've been talking about last month, December 2023. Also, if you've been to my solstice event, we talked about the energy themes for the year of 2024. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can also find just the energy themes video for 2024 as well. So as usual, or I would say for most people, January feels like a month that you just want to start new, start a new beginning, a new cycle, and you might feel naturally like you want to get started, you want to start your project, you want to eat better, go to the gym, or start that project, or schedule all the appointments you need to schedule. And for some of you, you might not necessarily feel like it. Like this month actually feels a little more yin than yang. It's a great month to plan and have ideas because you might feel like you've been having quite a lot of insights and ideas, but there's not much action yet. Okay. And if you remember last month, we were talking about how the month of December energetically was already 2024, but it felt like a prologue of the book. And so if you see January as the first chapter of this book, it started a little bit slow, like there's not much going on in the first chapter just yet. So things will start to shift and you'll feel more energy coming up. You'll feel like the ball is rolling towards the middle of January and especially February and March. Okay, so you will feel things that start coming up and you'll feel more inspired to take actions more towards February and March, middle of the month. So it does feel like January is more of a yin energy, even though the collective is in that kind of energy of let's get started and let's do it, right? You might be feeling more like either this is pressure that you want to start things and you want to feel like this is the new year, but actually the energy is just asking you to be more with your heart, to be more in your yin self, just kind of like this picture, just look at the plans, have the ideas, jot them down, but there's not much action yet. And so as always, that was a feeling, okay, that was a download that I got. But then spirit led me to this information that more an astrological information. And as you know, I don't necessarily base my themes on astrology, but I like when confirmations like this come to me because in January 27th, all planets will be direct. So this means that we'll have more of a powerful energy, more of that forward moving energy that will support the planting of the new seeds. And we've been planting seeds for a few months already. So a little prompt or an idea, a little task for you is to just really continue to journal any ideas that might pop up. Write down your plans, maybe adjust your calendar, but really just be open to for them to unfold whenever it feels right. Try not to force things because we might tend to do it just because we might feel like that anxiety coming up, like, oh my God, everybody's starting something and I'm just here looking at my plans. So just stay put, be patient, and trust and let go because this is also a sign of being sovereign. And as you may know, sovereignty is a big, big theme for this year. Okay. Now, this next theme was a vision that I had when I was tuning into the energy of the month. And it was kind of, this picture doesn't really do justice, but I'll try to explain what it was. It was a, a picture of this pink rose that was blossoming. It didn't have many petals, and I wasn't very sure whether that was a rose or a lotus flower. And then in the center, there was this vortex that kept spiraling up and down. And in the very center, there was this fire flame that just kept standing still, moving slowly, moving a little bit. And I just stayed with this image to see what it was wanting to telling me or what it represented. And for me, the pink rose represents self-love and also the heart. Okay. And then it felt to me like that was an image of your healing work, the healing work that you've been doing to love yourself, to accept yourself, which is a big thing in the healing journey, right? When you're in your heart, you're forgiving yourself, you're loving yourself, accepting all parts of you, forgiving yourself. So there's a lot of heart energy I felt. So this month, there's a lot of high heart energy. The lotus reference, or the moment that I thought maybe this is a lotus for me, it also represents the chakras. Okay. So it was it was a combination of self-love, heart. I felt like it's the heart chakra. And the idea that the flower was blossoming for me is this idea that you've been doing that healing journey. You've been doing a lot of healing and you're blossoming. Okay. And there might not be that many petals. There are still some petals, but you're blossoming. You've done quite a bit of healing work. And this healing work is supporting your ascension. So the spiral for me represents your ascension, represents your connection with the higher dimensions, with the core of the Earth, but also the black hole of the Milky Way and the higher dimensions, the galaxies in the universe, because it's all cycles. It does represent the spiral, and the vortex does represent that ascension for me in my interpretation. And that flame in the center represented you. You're in that center in the ascension process, supported by your healing that you've been doing for yourself, supported by the love that you are, the love that the universe is, okay? Connected to that love. So it does feel like there's a lot of energy around the heart, especially the higher heart. And I put higher heart continuous activation because, as I said last month in the solstice event, the higher heart is a big theme for this year, which is related to sovereignty. It's also connected to your throat chakra too. And we're experiencing a lot of activations in the higher heart chakra. Okay. Physically as well, you might be feeling something around the higher heart, cervical, neck, shoulder. Okay. And it is the activation, it is the upgrades around that area. Affirmation for this: just continue to tell yourself, I am being supported in this ascension process and my healing work is paying off. Okay, I know this sounds a little 3D, a little dualistic, but you know what I mean, is all the work that the dedication that you've been putting into your spiritual awakening and your healing journey is paying off. You're being supported. Okay. Another theme that's been coming up, and it's actually something that I posted today on my Instagram, the Bleeding channel. They were talking about focusing on your emotional body and your gut health too, because humanity as a collective is moving up through the fourth dimension. Okay. Some people are in sort of the mid 4D, some people are in the lower 4D, but quite a lot of people are now operating from the higher 4D. And the fourth dimension in general is very much related to your mental and your emotional body. And there is a really strong connection between your emotional body and your gut or your solar plexus. When you eat, when you digest food, this is very much related to giving you energy, but it's also very much related to your emotions because, sometimes when you're feeling depressed or when you're feeling sad or when you're feeling frustrated, you go eat something that pleases you. You want to have that ice cream or whatever it is. So sometimes you do that emotional eating, but also on a deeper level, this area, the solar plexus in your gut, is a portal. Um, and it is a portal for other beings, call it the cabal, the global elite, the beings that have an agenda to keep you in the 3D matrix, to continue to manipulate you and control you. They do that through fear. They do that through your emotions. So there's been huge programming in our collective society to eat bad, bad stuff, right? We've been told that dairy is good for us, that meat is good for us. At some point in history, we were told that smoking is good for us, right? And I'm referencing this, I'm saying this because I've also just watched a documentary on Netflix called You Are What You Eat. And it's very eye-opening. They talk about how, we've been influenced by the government or the guidelines of what we should be eating. And this is in a way, not in a way, this is very clearly for us a way to disconnect ourselves from our true power, right? Because it's not about what they're saying that we should be eating, but it's about what my body is saying, what is good for me. And so that is also sovereignty, right? It's knowing what's good for you. And so I'm saying all of this to say that there is a lot of programming, a lot of conditioning. And right now we're being asked to really cleanse toxins, to make better choices when we're eating, to make conscious choices, to even bless your food, say thank you, say I love you, right? It's really important because it's also very much related to the emotional body, okay? And so this month you might be experiencing some mood changes and some oscillation in your emotional system, because even if you're not necessarily in that phase of moving through the fourth dimension, you're more on that higher heart space, you're still part of the collective. So we're still affected by the energies of the collective. And so this might affect your gut as well. Like I said, we're doing a lot of programming and doing a lot of control through our gut. Okay. So a few prompts, a few things that you can think about is what can I do to improve my diet, to improve my digestion, to improve the way I detoxify my body. Okay. And when it comes to the emotions, I know sometimes it's just too much because you don't want to feel whatever you want to feel, but can you just sit with that uncomfortable emotion? Can you just allow yourself to feel without judgment and just be patient with yourself, be compassionate with yourself, okay? There's a lot of focus on the emotions this month, and the last few months, I remember telling you guys a lot of messages about taking care of your physical body, moving your body, strengthening your body. And yes, we have to continue to do this because nothing is separate. But I feel like this month, maybe the next few months, is very much focused on the emotional body. And lastly, the next theme is that you will continue to see more clearly the split between the old Earth, the new Earth, and this mass collective awakening that's happening, as I mentioned in my last video in the last energy themes for December in 2024. So you will continue to see more and more people awakening, and also as you expand your awareness as well, you will see more clearly, the gaps between the 3D, the 4D, and the 5D. Okay. And you might have a feeling of this one step forward and two steps back, especially when it comes to relationships. And this is a song that came to me when I was channeling this theme, and I just kind of wondered, why is the song coming up? And because you might feel this, especially in relationships, or in the collective even, but you might feel like, oh, my dad finally understood how I feel, or my partner finally understands that this is important for me. But then they'll make another comment, and then it's like, oh, okay, I thought we were going good, but don't be discouraged. Just keep trusting. And actually, this morning, I came across a post with the same expression, one step forward, two steps back, and I like how Spirit confirms things and plays with us. But it was actually a message for you in your healing journey, in your journey of expansion of consciousness, in your path, in your ascension process. That doesn't apply to you, and don't take this for you, because you're not going one step forward and two steps back, because there's no steps back. Okay, even if it feels like sometimes you're going one step forward and two steps back, there is no two steps back for you anymore because you are aware. There is no turning back. So be gentle with yourself and don't apply this to you. Focus on you. Keep focusing on you and your growth and your healing and your expansion. That is the best and the only thing that you can do. I know sometimes we want to take people's hands and help them uh, and share with them everything that you now know and everything that you do that works for you, but really focus on yourself. If people come to you, they want help, then yes, do your best, but don't put the burden on yourself. You are a star seed, you're a light worker, you're an empath, but don't think that you have that responsibility to heal others or to heal the world. You only have the responsibility to heal yourself, and that has a ripple effect. So keep checking with yourself. How are you feeling? Do not put the burden on yourself. Keep focusing on you. Keep focusing on your intentions, on your path, on your purpose, on your goal, and just keep remembering too that, keep reminding yourself too that it has a ripple effect because we are all energy, we're all entrained, and we are all one. So energetically, when you heal yourself, when you continue to focus on yourself, that has a ripple effect that goes beyond your logical mind. Okay. And a quick affirmation as well is just tell yourself, I am an empowered star seed and light worker. And just my being is enough. My presence is enough. My light is enough. All right. So these are the themes for the month of January. So just a quick recap. We have a month to plan and have ideas, but there might not be much action yet. Pink rose healing, the higher heart, continuous activation. Keep focusing on your emotional body. Focus on your gut health to remember to nurture your emotional body and your emotions, but also nurture your gut. And you will continue to see more clearly the gap or the split between the old earth and the new earth. There's a mass collective awakening happening, but remember to keep focusing on you, on your path, and on your growth. Which one of these resonates most with you?